Most people think that when a cat pees on the rug or poops on the bed, they are being spiteful. We assume they are angry, acting out, or just being flat out dirty. It's a common human assumption, but behind that frustrating, messy behavior, there is something much deeper and more desperate going on. They aren't trying to punish you, they are screaming for help. To a human, a litter box is just a plastic tub for waste. We want it hidden, we want it odorless, and we want it out of sight. But to a cat, that box is the single most emotionally loaded piece of real estate in your entire home. It is their most vulnerable territory, and the way you set it up determines whether your cat sees you as their ultimate protector or as someone who completely ignores their deepest survival instincts. Now, before we get into it, I want to say something important. If you've made these mistakes, do not beat yourself up. I get it. Not everyone lives in a massive house where they can scatter 3 or 4 giant litter boxes in quiet, airy corners. Most of us live in apartments. Space is limited. The idea of having an open box of cat waste in your living room is completely unappealing. You choose covered boxes or hide them in tight corners not because you hate your cat, but because you are thinking like a human. You are applying human logic to a creature that still carries the ancient, hardwired instincts of a desert predator. But here is the thing. By making these common, well-intentioned choices, you are unknowingly turning their bathroom into a literal prison. Today, we are going to break down the 6 massive categories of mistakes almost every cat owner makes. And pay close attention, because at the very end of this video, we are going to uncover one specific psychological mistake, something 99% of people do when trying to discipline their cat, that doesn't just fail to fix the problem, but permanently destroys the bond of trust between you and your pet. Let's dive into the blind spots. Group 1, the space, location, and ambush traps, the fatal survival flaws. Let's start with where you put the box. The location of the litter box dictates your cat's primal sense of safety, the dead ends trap. Human instinct tells us to tuck the litter box away. We slide it into the narrow gap between the toilet and the bathtub, or we shove it deep under the stairs. It's neat, it's out of the way, and guests can't see it. But to your cat, you have just backed them into a dead-end corner. In the wild, going to the bathroom is the most dangerous time in an animal's life. They are completely exposed. Every instinct they have screams at them to find a place where they have a 180-degree field of vision and, crucially, at least 2 escape routes. If a predator approaches, they need to be able to bolt. When you wedge that box into a tight crevice, they have no escape route. Every time they step in, their heart rate spikes. They feel trapped. The half-hearted privacy. On the flip side, some people place the box right in the middle of a high-traffic area, like a busy hallway or the living room. While cats don't need absolute isolation, they also don't want to be stared at while they are vulnerable. Constant foot traffic means they are in a perpetual state of hypervigilance, expecting a predator, even if it's just you or your kids, to swoop in at any second. The dining room disaster. Have you ever put the litter box near their food and water bowls just to keep all the pet stuff in one area? Stop doing this immediately. This goes against millions of years of evolutionary biology. In the wild, cats will travel far away from their nesting and eating areas to relieve themselves to prevent contaminating their food source with bacteria and parasites. Forcing them to poop where they eat is incredibly distressing for them. The invisible threat, the ambush trap. Here is a reality check for multi-pet households. You might have followed all the rules. You put the box in a clean, relatively quiet spot, but your cat is still peeing under your bed. Why? Because you didn't account for the ambush trap. If you have a dog, or another more dominant cat, a litter box tucked at the end of a long, narrow hallway is a horror movie waiting to happen. The dominant animal will often sit right outside the hallway or outside the covered box, waiting for the subordinate cat to finish. When the victim steps out, they get pounced on, even if it's just play for the dog. For the cat inside the box, it is a life or death ambush. They will quickly associate the litter box with being attacked, and they will never use it again. They will find a safe place like your closet instead. Group 2. Noise, light, and temperature. Sensory overload. We often forget how intensely cats experience the world. Their senses are cranked up to 11 compared to ours. White noise, trauma. The laundry room is probably the most popular place to put a litter box in the modern home. It makes sense to us. But think about it from the cat's perspective. They're in the middle of doing their business, feeling completely exposed, and suddenly the washing machine enters its spin cycle. The violent mechanical vibrations travel through the floor directly into their sensitive paw pads. Or worse, the dryer lets out a piercing, high decibel beep. That sudden, shocking noise creates instant trauma. They will link that terrifying auditory explosion with the litter box. You might not even be in the room when it happens, but suddenly your cat refuses to go near the laundry room. The dark room myth. Because we think of cats as nocturnal creatures with night vision, people often shove the box into a pitch-black closet or a windowless bathroom with the lights off. Yes, cats can see incredibly well in low light, but in absolute, total darkness. They are just as blind as we are. They still need ambient light to assess their surroundings for threat. Plunging them into total darkness heightens their defensive anxiety. Extreme temperatures. Have you ever placed a litter box on a cold, unheated tile floor in the dead of winter, or out on an enclosed patio that bakes in the summer sun? A cat's paw pads are packed with nerve endings. They're exquisitely sensitive to temperature. If stepping into the box literally hurts or freezes their feet, they will simply find a softer, warmer surface. Like your laundry pile. Group 3. Design, material, and convenience. Imprisonment and silent pain. This is the category where humans spend the most money, usually making things worse in the process. We design things for the human eye, completely ignoring feline ergonomics. The covered box obsession. Most people buy covered litter boxes with flaps on the front to keep the smell contained and the mess out of sight. It is a fantastic invention for human noses. But for a cat, it is a nightmare. A cat's sense of smell is roughly 14 times stronger than ours. When you put a roof over their toilet, you're essentially trapping all the ammonia, dust, and fecal odors inside a tiny, unventilated plastic dome. Imagine being locked inside a porta potty on a hot summer day. That is what your cat experiences every single time they step through that plastic flap. Furthermore, it completely eliminates their peripheral vision and their escape routes, triggering every claustrophobic survival instinct they possess. The robot trap. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Automatic, self-cleaning litter boxes. People spend hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on these high-tech machines, thinking it's the ultimate gift for their pet and themselves. But here is the brutal reality. First, the entryways are usually small, and the internal globe is dark and cramped. Second, the sudden mechanical whirring and rotational movements can be terrifying. If the machine triggers while the cat is still nearby, it becomes a predictable, mechanical monster. But worst of all, by having a machine whisk away the waste immediately, you are robbing yourself of the most vital health information your cat gives you. Feces and urine are a cat's daily medical report. If your cat develops a urinary tract infection, kidney disease, or blood in their stool, you will never know until it is too late, because the robot hid the evidence. The silent agony of the senior cat. This is perhaps the most heartbreaking mistake on this list. Imagine a cat who has used the same box perfectly for 9 years. Suddenly, at age 10, they start missing the box or going right next to it. The owner gets frustrated, assuming the cat is getting senile or lazy. They aren't senile, they're in pain. At cat's age, a massive percentage of them develop arthritis in their hips and spine. That litter box with the 6-inch high sides, which they used to leap into effortlessly, has now become an agonizing wall. Every time they try to climb over it, sharp pain shoots through their joints. They pee on the rug because stepping onto a flat rug doesn't hurt. If you have an older cat, you must transition to a low-entry box. Do not punish them for a body that is failing them. The micro-scratch scent trap. Even the material of the box matters. Cheap plastic pans get scratched up easily by your cat's claws over time. Those tiny, microscopic scratches become breeding grounds for bacteria, no matter how hard you scrub, bleach, or wash that plastic. The bacteria and the deep-seated smell remain. You might not smell it, but your cat's highly sensitive nose definitely does. To them, the box smells foul and contaminated, prompting them to avoid it. Group 4. Quantity. Litter amount. And liners, the sensory deception. The substance inside the box is just as important as the box itself. It dictates their tactile comfort and their territorial marking. The perfume poison. Walk into any pet store and you'll see shelves lined with spring breeze, lavender dreams, and citrus fresh scented litter. Humans buy this to mask the smell of poop, but to a cat, these artificial chemical fragrances are an aggressive assault on their senses. Think of it like being locked in a tiny bathroom while someone sprays 3 whole cans of cheap air freshener directly into your face. It is suffocating. Cats rely on scent to navigate their world. They actually need to smell their own waste to a degree, because it marks their territory and signals that this space belongs to them. When you cover that up with artificial lavender, you strip them of their territorial security. Always choose unscented. Clumping litter. The depth dilemma. How much litter do you pour in? If you pour too little, say, under an inch, your cat's claws will scrape against the hard plastic bottom when they try to bury their waste. The awful scratching sound is unpleasant, but worse, they won't have enough material to actually cover their feces. In the wild, burying waste is a vital survival tactic to hide from larger predators. If they can't bury it, they panic. On the other hand, if you fill it too high, like 4 or 5 inches, it becomes a soft, unstable mountain. Walking on it feels like walking through quicksand. They have no stability to squat comfortably. The golden rule is about 2 to 3 inches of litter. The plastic liner trap. Many owners use plastic liners at the bottom of the box so they can just lift the whole bag of waste out on garbage day. It is incredibly convenient. But cats hate them. First, the crinkling sound of the plastic every time they step is annoying and unnatural. Second, when they instinctively dig to bury their waste, their sharp claws shred the plastic liner. Urine seeps through the rips and pools at the very bottom of the plastic pan, festering in a place you can't easily scoop. It creates a massive, hidden colony of odor-causing bacteria. Group 5. Cleaning routines and crime scene investigation. Chemicals and territory. The way you clean and how many boxes you provide fundamentally shapes your cat's social structure and peace of mind. The N+1 rule. The economics of territory. If you have 3 cats, how many litter boxes do you have? If your answer is 1, you are sitting on a ticking time bomb. Cats are deeply territorial creatures. Forcing multiple cats to share a single toilet is like forcing 5 roommates to share one bathroom that never flushes. It creates immense psychological stress and a silent, passive-aggressive turf war. The dominant cat will claim the box, and the subordinate cats will be forced to relieve themselves on your sofa. The unbreakable mathematical law of cat ownership is the N+1 rule. You must have 1 box for every cat in the house, plus 1 extra. And they cannot be lined up right next to each other. They must be in different locations to establish separate territories. Toxic cleaning habit. When it's time to deep clean the plastic box, many owners reach for bleach or heavy-duty ammonia-based cleaners to kill germs. This is a massive mistake. First, you are completely wiping out the cat's scent profile. You are making their own territory smell completely alien and sterile to them. Second, and much more dangerously, cat urine contains high levels of ammonia. When you mix bleach with the ammonia in their residual urine, it creates chloramine gas, a highly toxic chemical that is essentially a mild form of mustard gas. You are literally poisoning the air they breathe. Wash the box with warm water and mild, unscented dish soap. That is all you need. The crime scene blunder. Why they keep peeing on the same rug. Let's address what happens when your cat does make a mistake. Let's say they pee on your living room rug. What is your first instinct? You grab the carpet cleaner, some soapy water, or a household disinfectant spray, and you scrub the spot until it smells like fresh lemons. Here is the problem. Standard household cleaners do not break down the uric acid crystals in cat urine. They only mask the smell to human noses. Because most household cleaners contain ammonia, and cat pee is full of ammonia, you are actually refreshing the scent marker to your cat's superhuman nose. That spot on the rug now has a giant, flashing neon sign that reads, "This is the bathroom. Please continue to pee here." If you do not use a specific enzymatic cleaner, a biological cleaner designed to literally eat and destroy the proteins in urine, your cat will return to that exact spot on the rug for the rest of their life. Group 6, Psychology, Habits, and the Ultimate Betrayal. Now, we have arrived at the final section, the psychological missteps. This is where we answer the open loop from the beginning of this video. This is about trust, and how easily it can be shattered. The shock of sudden change. Cats are creatures of absolute routine. They despise sudden changes. If you decide one Tuesday that you want to switch from clay litter to pine pellets, and you just dump the new stuff in the box, your cat will likely walk up to it, sniff it, and walk away. To them, the bathroom has vanished and been replaced by a box of weird-smelling wood. Any change in location or litter type must be done agonizingly slowly. If you want to move the box to a new room, you have to move it a few feet every single day. If you want to change the litter, you must mix 10% of the new litter into the old, then 20%, then 30%. Over the course of 2 weeks, you have to trick them into accepting the change. The ultimate betrayal, toxic discipline, and finally, the most devastating mistake a cat owner can make. You walk into the bedroom, and you find a pile of poop on your bed, or a puddle of pee on your favorite shirt. You are furious. Human logic dictates that punishment is required to teach a lesson. So, you grab the cat, drag them to the mess, shove their nose near it, yell at them, or maybe even smack them, and then throw them into the litter box. Listen to me very carefully. You have just destroyed your cat's trust in you. Cats do not process discipline the way humans or even dogs do. When you rub their nose in an accident and scream, they do not think, "Oh, I should have peed in the plastic box instead." They simply lack the cognitive ability to connect your current anger with a bodily function they performed 10 minutes ago. So, what do they learn? They learn one terrifying fact. The giant human who feeds me is completely unpredictable, highly aggressive, and dangerous. You have not taught them to use the litter box. You have only taught them to be terrified of you. Because of this fear, their anxiety will skyrocket, which is the number one cause of inappropriate urination in the first place. You have trapped them in a vicious cycle. The next time they need to go, they won't go in the box. They will find an even darker, more hidden corner of the house, like the very back of your closet, where you can't find them, just to stay safe from your wrath. When a cat pees outside the box, it is never out of spite. It is always a medical issue, an environmental stressor, or a cry for help because their instincts are being suppressed. Conclusion: the contract of trust. At the end of the day, a litter box is not just a plastic tub. It is a biological contract between you and an animal that still harbors the spirit of a wild predator. When you strip away the artificial scents, remove the claustrophobic lids, respect their need for escape routes, and keep their territory clean, you aren't just doing a chore, you are speaking their language. You are telling them, in the most primal way possible, that you understand their vulnerabilities and that you are actively protecting them. The next time you see your cat comfortably step into their box, confidently dig, do their business, and meticulously cover it up. Do not take it for granted. That simple, mundane act is a massive display of psychological comfort. It is absolute proof that they feel safe enough in your home to let their guard down. So, take a hard look at that box in the corner of your room. Are you forcing your cat to adapt to your human convenience? Or are you truly creating a sanctuary for them? When you shift your perspective and build a bathroom that honors their wild instincts, the way your cat responds to you will change everything. If this guide helped you see your feline friend in a new light, take a moment to absorb this information, share it with someone who loves their cat, and start making those small changes today. Your cat might not be able to say thank you out loud, but their peace of mind will be all the gratitude you need.